welcome to Inside Expectum. We're previewing the first semi-final of the World Cup on Tuesday evening. Kick-off at 8:30, and it's the last remaining South American hopes, Uruguay, taking off the Dutch. And the Dutch are worthy favourites for this. Uruguay, I mean, they're carrying the hopes of the South Americans. I mean, who would have thought that there'd only be one South American team left? Brazil fell by the wayside, Argentina fell by the wayside. So, you know, all hopes pinning on Uruguay. And they're surprising that they've got this far, really. I mean, they qualified via the playoffs against Costa Rica. Seemed a long time ago now, but they came through a tough group, drew against France, defeated South Africa and defeated Mexico, finished top of their group. And then they've had the easier passage in the knockout stage. They overcame South Korea and a titanic struggle against Ghana. I mean, they didn't perform very well against Ghana, and Ghana were really unlucky losers. You know, definitely deserved to go through, and you know, they'll be thanking the lucky stars Uruguay that they've actually got this far. Holland, a stunning performance against Brazil. I mean, 1-0 down at half-time, you could not see a comeback. But you know, they whipped in that free kick. Cesar missed his punch, and the rest is history. They did very well. They haven't stepped up a gear yet, Holland. During the groups, they were just doing enough. Against Slovakia, just did enough. But when they were down, that half-time team talk against Brazil, they upped that gear. And I think they've got plenty of gears left. And I think they'll have too much for Uruguay. Uruguay, Suarez, that infamous handball on the line, saved their lives really against Ghana. And he's obviously suspended for this. So all hopes rely on Forlán. He scored 3 goals. Anything around the edge of the box, he'll be taking the free kicks and he'll be hungry for a goal. He scored 3 already, and he's 7.5 for the first goal, 4 at any time. Suarez's place will be taken by Abreu. He's a Botafogo striker. He scored 30 goals in 58 internationals. He's knocking on a bit now, but he knows where the goal is, and he's 9.0 to score the first goal, 3.8 at any time. They've got injuries. Lagana, the captain, he may play. It's a bit of a doubt though. Fasil, the left back, he's suspended, and Ladero, he's suspended also. I mean, Holland, they've got the mighty Robben. I mean, he came on against Slovakia, and we saw the difference, and against Brazil as well. Them runs, and Uruguay would just have to stop him. 6.5 Robben to score the first goal, 2.85 at any time. And Schneider, 4 goals already, and he's 7.0 to score the first goal, 3.75 at any time. And they're just going to be running them ragged, looking for the fouls around the edge of the box. As we saw against Brazil, they can whip them in and land them on a sixpence, and that will be a big danger for Uruguay. They're quite disciplined, Uruguay, and they'll have to be desperately disciplined for this one and not concede any silly fouls, which could cause trouble. Holland, they've got some suspensions. Van der Vel is suspended, and De Jong, he soaks up a lot of the pressure. They're both suspended, so that's a bit of a worry. But good news, Van Persie's okay. He hasn't lit up the World Cup as yet, so maybe he's due. He's 5.0 to score the first goal, so there'll be a few takers for that. On the side markets, we offer loads of side markets. How many corners, yellow cards, how many fouls will be committed, this kind of thing. There's one there, in the last 5 games that they've played, these two teams, they've scored 5 in the first half and 10 in the second. So obviously, bit cagey at the beginning and up in the second half. And the second half to have the most goals is 2.05. So that looks quite an interesting bet. I think it'd be a cagey affair. 0 to 1 goals is 2.7. And I fancy the Dutch just to edge it. Draw at half time, and they'll sneak it in the second half. So draw half time, Holland full time is 4.25. Also, we do offsides. How many offsides? And at the moment, Uruguay have had 14 offsides. Holland 17, and Holland to get the most offsides is still 2.2, so that looks statistically quite good. An interesting stat is Holland have played South American sides the last 13 times. They've only lost 1 game, so they've got, you know, they can soak up this South American spirit, and I can see them doing the same again. I think Uruguay's only hope is maybe they can take it to penalties. The Dutch aren't very good on penalties. They've lost the last 4 penalties and only won 1 of them. So Uruguay to win on penalties is 11.0. That's the only hope I can see for Uruguay. And I can see Holland just sneaking this one. And best of luck anyway with your bets. Cheers.